caught so good, they deserve a touchdown.
It's Monday morning. More like afternoon. I'm Dave. This is Too Much Dip. I don't know.
It's after 2 o'clock.
I'm tired, dude. No, I'm not that tired. I'm on that booming loud. It's Too Much Dip Pod. I'm Dave. I'm hosting. That voice you just heard joining me live in studio. Real-time analysis. It's Dylan Chevrolet.
Hey, happy Portal season to all who celebrate. Who's your team getting? Who's your team losing? We don't know yet.
We don't.
We're going to find out.
Didn't you buy one of those from Facebook, from Meta, the portal?
I don't really follow the reference, but yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, man. Didn't do an episode. We did an episode, but we didn't do a live stream last week.
Live stream.
I sure missed your face, man.
See you sipping on that cream soda.
Yeah, sipping on that booming soda. I don't know.
Say booming cream.
Booming cream.
Joining us next to Dylan, replacing KJ for the moment because he's dealing with some travel issues, some hotel issues. Just feel for him right now. It's a tough time to travel. It's none other than Brett Merriman.
Happy Cyber Monday to those who celebrate, Dave and Dylan.
Do we have any codes that are active that we want to push out there?
Our entire store is just 25% off.
Do you even
At
have to enter a code at this point?
Washmedia.shop.
Did you extend the sale? Because I scheduled it to end at midnight last night.
Oh, it's weird. Use Black Friday 25 at checkout for 25% off.
So you extended it, or someone did?
I'm just on our website. I didn't extend it myself.
Then I'm not sure that code is active, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, then the banner, we need to. I'll change the banner right now.
Or I could just extend it to a midnight tonight.
Dude, extend the sale.
Let's cyber. Get your Dippy merch. Go to washmedia.shop. New hats. New Wash Media hats dropping this week.
Yeah. It's looking like Friday or Saturday, most like. It's short for most likely.
It's one syllable.
Short for most likely.
You save so much time.
Yeah. So the green ones we released recently, they sold out in like 20 seconds. Not literally.
Could that be because of the model?
Literally an hour and 24 minutes, they sold out.
Mm-hmm.
So we ran them back. We also introduced a new color, and it's in front of Dave. It's a navy. It's a dark navy. It looks fucking dope.
Deep navy.
I'm actually taking that home with me today.
Sheesh.
So
wow.
We'll tick one off of the inventory because it's going home with Daddy.
Okay.
But you can also get your hands on one later this week.
Big fan.
How about that?
Exciting times. Washedmedia.shop.
Hey, I'm excited to be here, Dave. This is a great episode for yours truly to be on. I'm excited about this one, given the events of the last week or so.
It's been a big week for you.
Oh, it goes through Tuesday. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. But the sale goes through tomorrow.
Okay.
So it's already in there. We're good.
Nice.
So for Extremely Online Tuesday.
Extremely online, yeah. For all who celebrate Extremely Online Tuesday, and we do, you can cop.
When did Cyber Monday become a thing?
Cyber me.
I'm sorry?
Wasn't the
They used to cyber all the time.
Cyber me, daddy.
I don't know, Dave.
Have you ever cybered? Had cyber sex?
only when I was like watching 8 Mile. That's what Eminem's. That's like one of his verses, right? The cyber.
Never mind. I was gonna say I was probably taking advantage of cyber style back in the day on AIM.
Were you talking to
AOL
like Smarter Child?
I was
in a chat room that was for
probably talking to someone who wasn't a child, like someone of my age at that time.
Just a super hot chick, 69XX.
Yeah, just had all these pics ready to rock. Like, whoa, dude, I got an online girlfriend. It wasn't. Some guy named Barry living in like North Dakota. He was way older than me.
Yeah, kind of weird in hindsight.
You got any stories like that, Dylan?
Chat rooms are dangerous, man. Now, remember chat roulette, though?
Yeah, you see a lot
Also
of dick
dangerous.
on it.
Sheesh. It's
Just dick fiesta.
1 in every 7 is just a meat shot.
Whole thing is like a big sausage pizza.
Yeah, it's like, someone just being goofy, and then it's like, oh, meat shot. And it's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Dick Fiesta sounds like the CEO of like the Belk Bowl or something like that. And he's just a really good
He awards
time.
the MVP trophy.
Yeah. Mr. Fiesta.
And he's
Please
real
step up to the
He's
podium.
got shake voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Gary something or other for GMC or Chevrolet, whoever they say at the end of the game.
Dylan Chevrolet.
Why don't we just go with that, Dylan?
It does have a little thing to it, man.
Chevrolet. There's no L in my name.
I'd rather go Dylan Alfa Romeo if I was. Will you change your name if that comes through?
Don't even talk about that. Don't even
speak
put that
that.
out there yet. All right.
Okay.
Randy, what's this guy's deal? Randy, go ahead, pop on the mic. Tell me what his deal is. He's got
He
nothing.
just shrugged.
He's got the spoiler makers next week.
Yeah, dude, talk about
Randy
your.
hasn't-
We're giving you the forum.
He hasn't
Talk about
talked
your
much
boiler
today.
makers.
I'm worried about Randy.
He's tight, dude. He's got
was
casino last night vibes.
He's got Wild Wings face.
Didn't you go to Carrabba's or something last night?
I didn't get into us until like 2:00.
Yeah,
so-
there it is.
Just admit you have Wild Wings face.
Sure, I have Wild Wings face.
It's a guy who's been at Wild Wings in the last 72 hours.
Did you order your wings extra wet by any chance?
Is that really a thing?
Yeah.
Ugh, that's so gross.
Toss them, Daddy.
No, actually, my friend ordered wings and they came plain, and then he sent them back and they gave him the wrong sauce. Went back. It was terrible service.
Oh no.
No, not at Wild Wings.
How much sugar did you consume at Wild Wings in the form of sugary beverages?
A lot, Brett.
Yeah, you did.
Sounds like it.
That's my Randy.
All right, good stuff from Randy.
Good stuff.
Hey, sometimes we hit the dip line here, 833-371-3477. Not often, but we do have a dip line call. Let's just run it. I haven't really tested this. I'm hoping it's working. It might be directed at someone on this pod today.
Oh, I can't wait.
Could
if
be
this is what I think it
topical.
is.
Let's just check it out.
Fraud alert, fraud alert. Ole Miss is frauds. Dogs on top. We run Mississippi. Fuck you, Brett.
I can't. I heard Ole Miss is frauds.
Fraud
that's,
alert.
that's really all you need to know.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean they've lost 4 of their last 5 games. There certainly are and have appeared on the fraud list for the last multiple number of weeks. I'm not saying they aren't.
They're the
am
first team to go from the might be really good list to the fraud list.
No, gosh, no. Plenty of teams have. Bama, Oklahoma State,
I'm not willing to call
Tennessee-
Bama frauds.
Tennessee.
Their 2 losses are by like 4 points.
Hey, you know you're a powerhouse when 2 losses is a down year. You know what I mean?
by single digits.
It's like, come on.
By single digits, you're not wrong.
It's a good football program.
Ole Miss
David.
did cover though. Just saying. Yeah, do you want to get right into Ole Miss, Dave, or do we have to?
We
Do
don't
you have
have
anything
to
else in
follow
the
this?
rundown
Dave's been
here?
calling it
I don't
Old
know.
Piss lately.
Ole
I
Miss-
like Ole
yeah,
Miss.
That's a Mississippi State fan. They're just mad that they're not the better school in the state. So they got 1 Egg Bowl win the last 3 years, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, fuck Ole Miss. Okay, like
Mississippi football historian over here, Brett Merriman.
it's Starkville versus Oxford.
Oxford is the town.
That's a
You've been to both of them many times. Go ahead and give you your
That's
breakdown.
an absolute.
Hey, let's go to the Grove sometime.
Yeah, let's go to the Grove sometime. I've been to the Grove in an off season.
In the not so distant future, hopefully, Texas will travel to Oxford as they are
And-
joining the SEC. But it might be in 2028 before that happens. We don't know.
It's true. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
And Ole Miss will be coming here. That'll be a good time. Anyway, last time we were on this podcast, and by the circling back, just taking shots at me on Twitter.
God, who runs
It's
that
mainly
account?
Too
Will.
much dip, taking shot like.
Who runs that account?
That's
I mean,
Landry.
it's everybody. Yeah.
You know what? Actually, I
Landry
might
Will,
have
I'll tell you
done
what.
that one. That one might have been a Dave.
You know,
joint.
weirdly, Texas Tech is the only program that doesn't get just torpedoed from the too much dip
'Cause
account.
every
it's
Saturday
weird,
it's-
weird how that happens.
It's just a highlight reel. Of
Yeah.
Texas Tech.
you
yeah,
see
it's
their
like,
big-
look at this bomb ass fade that quarterback, whatever his name is,
Gunnar
threw.
Schauger,
One of their
whatever.
6
yeah,
quarterbacks.
Gunnar, or
Just
Tyler
kidding.
Schauger.
Colton or something. And then it's like, oh
Tyler
look,
Colton.
Texas got another L. Ole Miss stinks, but look, Texas Tech with their 5 losses, they're having a great game.
They 7-game winners this year. Beat OU. Not a great look for OU this year.
OU stinks, baby.
Just gonna go out on a limb and say it.
OU's on stink alert. Stink
Oh,
watch.
I
Stink
mean,
watch.
they're- no,
No,
they're-
it's a stink
they're
warning. They
confirmed.
suck.
They're confirmed.
They
Like,
suck. They
confirmed
lost to a
stink,
very mid Baylor team and a
Like the
mid
insurance
Texas Tech team.
The
No
insurance
offense.
companies have already landed in Norman because the claims are very much legit.
So you popped onto this show, not this show, circling back. That's our other pod. You may have heard of it. Will DeFries is the host of that show, one of them.
He does a good job.
And we did a segment. You were filling in for Dylan. The segment was called the Thank Bank, and you decided to use your Thank Bank. That's a segment where we just give things that we're thankful for. It can be anything.
Sure. Yeah.
You thanked one Lane Kiffin.
I did. I really did. I think I thanked him enough that some people are saying I've seen it in the message boards.
You thanked him hard.
I thanked him enough that he reconsidered his moving to Auburn to be their head football coach and is now staying at Ole Miss.
How did that make you feel? What was your confidence level going into the holiday?
Like honestly, dead serious, like a 7 or 8 out of 10 that he was going to stay, because the entire narrative was online. It was all like bullshit shouts like to message board geniuses on Twitter, but it was everybody, all these local reporters that think they have some sort of scoop with some sort of booster and a friend of a friend, like SEC silly coaching season, whose buddy like works for the athletic department and like coaches men's rugby on the side. That the club team knows something about Ole Miss and Auburn, and there was this whole thing about the NIL being such a drastically difference. It's not. Auburn, turns out they have a $15 million NIL collective, but only like 7 of it goes to football.
Don't nod along like you know this, Dylan.
So there was a story broke that was basically like Ole Miss and Auburn have the same amount, if not Ole Miss at this point, more money to spend on NIL.
It's a lateral move.
Right.
I
No
mean,
offense.
if Auburn is a better coaching job, it's very marginal.
Exactly. And
it's marginal.
It's marginal.
so all week
That's my
it was
Trump.
just these people and these like blue checks on Twitter with like the 30,000 follower blue checks that cover
It's us. You're talking about
All
us.
right.
yeah,
like
that
10.
cover like the SEC or something like
Who is
that.
who is the local sports guy?
John Sokoloff.
He took the L.
Tweeted Monday night that it was a done deal. Lane's out. And by the way, but let me caveat with this. I'm sure they talked, like Lane and Auburn talked. And I'm sure there was some sort of exchange of ideas, or at least through Jimmy Sexton, Lane's agent. But Jimmy Sexton also represents like every coach in that conference and athletic directors and there's just a weird web of what's the word I'm looking for, Dave? Conflicts of interest, I guess.
Sure.
So
Did they rework Lane's deal, or is he still operating under the same?
well, they offered him an extension not last week but the week prior
Okay.
to get a raise up to $9 million a year. And
So
so that would
weren't.
be up from 7.5.
Is there a chance his agent? I guess it would. The
Seven,
timing
I
doesn't make sense.
Is
but
he
there-
a Jimmy Sexton guy?
Yeah.
That dude, man. Goated.
Are you serious?
Did you
Dylan?
say it? I missed it.
No,
No,
Brett did.
Dylan's been run down.
I was adding to the rundown.
But no, just so I
I
was
didn't even
never
know who
wor-
Jimmy Sexton was.
Really?
He's the
Yeah.
SEC power.
So they used to call Dylan back in the late 2000s.
I learned about him during the Muschamp years in Texas. He was a Sexton guy.
Where's Muschamp now?
He's a
Coordinator.
assistant somewhere? Yeah.
Maybe Muschamp to Texas State.
True.
He's not
Anyway,
taking
so
the Texas State job.
It's
This-
a good job.
this poor
It's
guy,
not.
John
It's not.
Sokoloff, tweets out that done deal, Lane's going to Auburn Monday night, right?
Right?
Lane, and I'm basically watching this live on Twitter because at this point I am 7 out of 10. I'm not 100% confident, but something's like it kind of feels like something's coming to a head. And Lane's weirdly tweeting all day. He tweets like a gray sweatpants pic with his dick in it.
What?
You can
Classic.
see dong.
You see
print.
Kiffin dong?
Yeah.
Is it a
And
good
so
dong?
everybody was kind of like, what the fuck is he doing? Anyway, this guy tweets, done deal, sources, whatever. But he broke the John Cohen, the new Auburn AD. He broke that news. So everybody's kind of like, oh, this guy has a scoop in the last couple of weeks. And that guy who went to Auburn to be their AD kind of think there was some connection there.
Sure.
So everybody's kind of like, oh, this might be legit for the first time. Lane quote tweets him, say, this is news to me.
So he just threw up a heat check.
He was
This dude was really feeling
yeah,
himself.
he had
was
a
like,
50%. He threw up a coin flip.
Maybe he smoked out a inside, informant.
I'm sure he got some source that says that he believed.
Yeah.
I don't believe he got multiple sources on it. That's the rule in journalism, Dave. Always get 2 sources.
Someone had a closed door meeting with Lane after that one.
Or-
Oh.
You're the guy.
Here's
You're
the
the
other
rat.
rule. Some guys like Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport will often say, like, according to me and Tom, or Tom and I, so-and-so is hurt or, going to miss the game or whatever. That's because Ian gets one source, Tom gets a different source, and that counts as 2 if Ian and Tom trust each other enough. You know what I'm saying?
huh.
So anyway.
Journalism. Would this
Le-
guy go to Mizzou or something?
Journalism school.
Right.
You didn't know that
Right.
probably.
That in Syracuse, everybody talks about in journalism. J
Cuse.
school.
The Orangeman.
Right.
Famously had a great start to the year. Really
Mhm.
crashed and burned.
Yeah.
Anyway, this
Imagine
whole
if
thing
Purdue
goes
won
on.
that game.
Carrier Dome.
Yeah, right. Ole Miss fans start to turn on Lane, even though nothing has happened. Like there's no legitimacy to any of this. Like Pete Thamel stays out of it. Bruce Feldman stays out of it. No national guys at all, besides like Clay Travis, are reporting anything remotely concrete. Basically, just like there's conversations happening. And finally, Lane has to address the team on Tuesday or Wednesday. Says these reports are bullshit. Don't worry about it. And then he stays. And then he gets to Friday or Saturday, I guess, and is like, yeah, I'm staying. Like I never said anything about leaving.
A little bit of a distraction for the team.
Very much so. The way this was handled, and I agree somewhat to the people that are saying Lane should have just come out and tweeted on November 15th, like, yeah, no Auburn at all. Like, I'm staying with Ole Miss. That's not how you do it, though. There's no leverage to that. Plus, like he's done all along, and this goes back to the quarterback competition they had with Jackson Dart and Luke Altmaier. That went on for so long, and people are like, wow, Luke, Jackson's the guy. He's just kind of and Lane goes, like, September 3rd, Lane came out and said, well, I don't know who the guy is. They both are pretty tight. And that was just him telling the truth. So I think
that's not how he analyzed those quarterbacks. He
I
didn't say they're both pretty tight, did he?
As in like 50-50.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like the race is tight.
Okay, got it.
No, he didn't say it like that. But I just think with Lane, he's made into more of this media monster than he is. I think he knows how to pick his spots and take shots and stuff like that. But I don't there's no giant conspiracy with Lane Kiffin. I think it's spun like crazy because he tweets so often, because he tweets a little cryptically. And
sure.
I just think he was genuinely always going to stay at Ole Miss, didn't want to say anything before the end of the season to keep the focus on the players because they had something to play for. I mean, if they're a 2-loss team, at this point, they'd probably be going to a New Year's Six Bowl. They won't be. But, yeah, it was a huge distraction and got spun out of control by media. I do think, like I said, there was always some conversation that had, that's why he got the raise. But I was always under the impression that he was going to stay, always. And I didn't tweet anything because I think the people that were freaking out were very much overreacting to this. And I wasn't going to tweet that I'm 100% confident because I don't know for sure.
Can I be straight up real with you right now?
Sure.
You had way more on that than I thought you would.
Yeah,
I mean, you really just went the fuck off.
Yeah, we gave you 2 minutes.
Sorry, I'm sorry. It was
fine.
It was frustrating because
Look, I know it was. You thank banked him.
I know the players did. They were distracted. Oh, how can you not be? Like, in this day and age, with money involved now and transferring, it's not like it used to be where you just you have to sit out a year. You don't want to leave. But to his credit, I love Jackson Dart. This kid is he said he came out. He's like, I don't care who the fuck is coaching this team. I'm here. And so I thought that was pretty cool for him.
While you're rolling, do you want to address?
I'm not on Molly.
Do you want to address the controversy from circling back today? A second time we've referenced that show, but
it's a good show.
Will DeFreeze, second time he's been reffed. He said that you might have had a little mea culpa you need to issue for Michigan.
Yeah.
Did you have them on Fraud Watch or no?
No, I went back today. As of like November 2nd, I had them on might be really good. No, I think I actually had them graduating to really good after they beat Penn State by a healthy margin. So Ohio State has always been on Fraud Watch. Let me go to.
Oh, get out of town,
Dylan. I promise you, I'm about to go to the November.
Did you have Ohio State on BF Watch over the weekend? Because I don't know if you watched that game.
Is that a new segment we're doing? What's BF Watch stand for?
I think you know.
What is it? No, I just forgot. Actually.
I think you know what it means.
Boyfriend Watch.
They're on Boyfriend Watch. What is, dude?
You know what it means, dog.
I don't know what Boyfriend Watch means.
No, not Boyfriend Watch. It's BF. We talk about come on, dog.
Big, no. Butt fuck watch. I know they're on butt fuck.
Jesus,
watch.
that's not a watch.
I'm sorry. Okay, this is, let's see, October 24th.
Yeah,
might be really good. Georgia, TCU, Oregon, Oklahoma State, frauds, Ole Miss, Clemson, UCLA, Bama. The only team that ended up being really good was Georgia and potentially TCU. Anyway, this is, and then the next one I issued, November 9th. Here we go. Fraud Watch, Ole Miss, November 9th. Fraud Watch, Ole Miss, TCU, Ohio State, Tennessee.
Okay.
Confirmed really good. Confirmed really good. Georgia, Michigan.
You need to have a carefrontation with Will. You guys need to have a closed door.
I want to be real straight up. The receipts exist. It is directly in response to Too Much Dip at Too Much Dip with 2 P's on Twitter.
A lot of people are saying your Fraud Watch list is on Fraud Watch itself.
I don't think that's the case.
I
The
heard
fraud
Dave-
watch list.
I heard Dave saying that.
Fraud list presented by DraftKings Sportsbook is not on fraud watch list. Confirmed really good as of today are Georgia and Michigan. It might be really good. USC, the other USC, South Carolina, two top 5 wins.
I mean, that is good.
Clemson, I guess, is not. You know, two top 10 wins.
Short-term memory syndrome right
And
there.
I threw Tulane in there. Throw them a bone. Good story this year. Fraud watch TCU because they're on BF watch for sure. And confirmed frauds, all of which I've called at some point this year: Clemson, Bama, Oklahoma State, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Oregon, Ohio State, LSU, and that's it.
We were kicking it around earlier. That's what we do out there in the bullpen, just kicking around, just chatting like the boys. Just the year Michigan makes a little noise in the playoff. They
They've already made some
take
noise.
down. They have, but like
in
they're
the
going to take
playoff.
down a
Let's
top
see.
dog.
They're currently slated for what? The 2 seed? Does that sound right?
Yes.
They
If
are.
they're 2 seed, they're going to play either USC, TCU.
Right now they're slated to play TCU.
Or potentially Ohio State.
They will BF TCU.
I
they
think
would.
that's okay. I still don't. This is not fair to TCU. I still don't know what to make of them because they are obviously the best team in the Big 12. They put 44, 45 up against a good Iowa State defense. Their defense is good. Their offense is an absolute joke.
Yeah, they have that dog though at receiver, number 8.
Right.
Dog.
I don't really understand what's going on with their offense. It's been like that all year though. But TCU put their best game together at home over Iowa State, right? But I'm sitting here thinking like, man, what does this team look like against Georgia? What do they look like against Michigan? Especially watching Michigan, what they did to Ohio State, which I sadly missed the entire second half because I was driving back. And I just kept doing the anytime I would hit traffic,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to Temple, I would just pull my ESPN app out and just look, and there you go, boom. And then one time I did it, and I couldn't believe it. I thought I was looking at it wrong.
I think the game was probably closer than the score indicated at the end of it because Michigan broke off a couple of really long runs, one of which when the game was well in hand. Not that doesn't count, but it's like it kind of skewed,
Sure.
the first 3 quarters a little bit.
That's what I figured. But yeah, I mean, Michigan's really fun. That's a fun team, and I did not see that happening. That Ohio State atmosphere was lit. Absolute lit.
The shoe, man.
The shoe. That's how it is. But
Horseshoe.
Right. It is a cool environment. The Big House was probably my favorite place I've ever watched a college football game though. That's
Really?
Michigan Stadium, yeah. Very cool. Very, very cool spot.
you mentioned USC.
Yeah, they're winning and they're in, Dave.
We got to talk. Yeah, oh, for sure. They also have like the most electric player in college football.
C-Dub?
Caleb Williams is runaway Heisman, right? Which is insane considering you have a quarterback at TCU who's undefeated.
And a few weeks ago, I was like, it feels like CJ Stroud is going to run away with this thing. Now it looks to be all Caleb Williams. That dude is the truth.
I don't know how much of that game you watched, that Notre Dame game, but his ability to get out of trouble, he is like a larger Kyler Murray. That's probably a lazy comp. I've heard that many places, but like, so he's 6'1". Kyler's like 5'10", if lucky.
He's about 5'6".
Dude moves just like Kyler. He backpedals like no one I've ever seen backpedal. Like he could get out of anything, and it's insane. In that game, if you were a bettor or a Notre Dame fan, that game had to have been like pull your hair out levels of anger because they had that dude dead to rights multiple times in a close game.
You're right. He's great at the off scheduled scramble throws. He's the anti Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers, when he gets pressure, he absolutely panics. Not this was about Texas.
Bringing
at
it
all.
back to Texas.
Not this is about Texas, but
You mentioned
pocket
bettors, Dave.
presence, not great.
Caleb Williams is now minus 3,000 to win the Heisman.
So how much do I have to bet to make $1,000?
$30,000.
You should do
All
it.
right. Can I use a company card?
No, you may not. You may use the Davy card.
I don't have that kind of limit.
They kind of scratch on you.
I don't have a black card.
That's too bad.
Well, I do want to see USC in the playoff. They got to play fucking Utah.
Which famously they lost to
Correct.
a couple weeks ago.
And
Your boy, Dave. Duncanville's finest.
The great Jaquindon Jackson.
is now a running back and maybe a really good one.
I think we spoke this into existence because, the ongoing bit on the show, maybe for the last 3 years, so he came out of high school, went to Texas as a quarterback, had torn his ACL in the playoffs. Never got on the field at Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Transferred to Utah once he read the writing on the wall. Apparently, Texas wanted to turn him into a running back, and he didn't want to do that. He's a big kid. I think he's 6'1", 6'2". He's a big running back if that's what he's going to be. Goes to Utah, doesn't win the starting job, plays behind Cam Rising. Cam Rising, also formerly a Texas player.
Yes, he is.
Utah's good. This year, they had an injury at the running back position. They start giving him some snaps at running back. And then against Colorado, honestly, Colorado's one of the worst teams in college football. But 3 touchdowns, a bunch of big runs, and looks comfortable at that position. That, he's not the story on Utah. Utah is good, almost at every position. But that's going to be a really fun game, and I'm just trying to figure out how this plays out if Utah wins that game. What do you do with a two-loss USC team? Opens the door for Ohio State, right? That's a 1-loss Ohio State team.
Yeah.
And that sucks because I want to see Lincoln and Caleb in the playoff. I think most people do. I know the committee does.
It's great for you. I mean, has USC ever been in this format in the playoff?
No.
So you got to think that's what the boys over at NCAA HQ are hoping for.
And Big Football wants to see the most electric player in the playoffs. Big Football wants Caleb Williams in there.
So are they shooting Jaquindon a text being like, hey, man, if you're on the goal line, just pull a Will Rogers in the Egg Bowl and just let the ball go.
It's probably not fun for OU fans to see what's going on in LA right now.
This has been probably their worst season
With Lincoln and
all things considered.
Caleb just linking up out there and just throwing it around the yard.
And your team is not good.
Putting up big boy numbers while you're what are they, 7-5? No, 6-6. OU 6-6. Is that right?
I think they're bowl eligible. Yeah,
6-6.
Yeah, they were 6-6. Need to check in on our guy Eddie Radosevich.
Ooh, yeah, we
down
get
real
him back
bad.
on. Yeah,
down bad Eddie is what we're calling him.
People are saying Venables is on the hot seat already.
No, you can't give a guy 1 year.
He gets 2 more years. He's got to get his guys in there, dude.
I think conventional wisdom is you give him a full recruiting cycle, 4 years.
I think 3 minimum for a college football coach. Yeah. It should be necessary.
Let him get their guys in before you fully judge them.
Is Jimbo on the hot seat, or did the LSU win? Does that take the heat off Jimbo? A couple of his guys were like, "Oh, we're actually."
If I'm an A&M fan, I'm like, all right, it's cool that we beat LSU, but does this give Jimbo more of a longer leash at this point?
I don't know.
I still want his ass out of there if I'm an Aggie.
Offensive coordinator was fired today.
Saw that.
Did Dick Durney or Dallas Dick, whatever his name is?
His name's not Dallas.
I think it was Dick Dickey.
Dick Dickerson.
Been there for a while, 4 or 5 years.
What did he really do there? Isn't Jimbo the offensive guy?
That is his resume would be offensive guru, but this season kind of
that offense stinks, baby. Stinks.
That's a big turd by who laid a bigger turd, Oregon or LSU?
Having opportunities to do more with what they had.
Both 2-loss teams, and they both just laid big old stinking turds. Big ones.
Real bad. LSU, they had a terrible – I mean, they got the doors blown off against Tennessee back when Tennessee was still cooking.
That's not a bad loss.
Yeah, an interesting college football year all around that I think is going to end up quite anticlimactic.
Somebody on this show might have after one game might have been Bo Nix is cooked. He's not the starter at Oregon anymore. He got just destroyed by Georgia.
So are you vindicated now?
A lot of people are saying the 3 losses he cannot overcome. No, I'm not. I was wrong about that. Bo Nix was good. I don't think he was the problem. They had a significant lead. 14, 17 points.
Dave, you know what they say with rivalry games?
What do they say?
Throw the record books out the window.
This is me. This is a visual representation.
I had the Beavs. I had Beav Nation on Sneaky Fun Watch.
Don't you have that channel? You have that channel on TV too, right?
Beav Nation. Fun Watch. Yeah, that's the one that it's not. Yeah, after people gave up on Fox News, they're mad about it. They switched to Newsmax, and then they left there, and now they're on Beav Nation.
Beav Nation.
Yeah.
Sneaky fun watch, he said.
They were, dude. Oregon State's a fun team. They're going to be fun next year. Watch out for them.
I didn't watch that game. Did Oregon get BF'd or what happened there?
They blew a big fourth quarter lead.
How is
Shaking
Oregon
my
ranked
head.
ahead of Oregon State right now? Oregon's 15, Oregon State's 16. They just beat them. You got to flip.
You can't go off one game.
You got to flip.
Brad.
They're both 9 and 3.
Yeah, ask Baylor about that. TCU a few years back.
Yeah,
Tough scene.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
Ask him.
I'll let.
Speaking of,
Baylor's head coach? Is he going? Or what's the DC over there? The Baylor coach has been rumored in a bunch of
Aranda?
places. Aranda, yes.
Aranda's not. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Oh, Dave,
He
you
was
heard it
big
first.
time. He was very, very rumored.
They caught an L
last
over
year.
the weekend. On Friday.
I didn't. Yeah,
He-
they did. Yeah, shouts to that game was close for too long, but then Texas kind of.
Well,
They got Bijan'd.
they got
yeah.
Bijan, which is, it's amazing that it took this long for Sark to realize, like, hey,
Sark
this
was
is the guy.
In the fourth quarter, he was like, all right, we're going to call all running plays. Literally, they didn't call a single pass play. The
It's
last,
interesting.
Baylor has a good
Should've
run
done
defense,
that
too.
for a long time.
But that's a tough tandem of running backs to stop in the fourth quarter, especially when your offense is utterly anemic because, frankly, Baylor's not very good at the quarterback position, and they're not very good at the play calling position. There's a name that might be on the not the hot seat but Jeff Grimes was at BYU, now at Baylor. Was before the year. He was like the hot name to get like the next head coaching job at like a legit school, and now it's
Shapen-
like
had some real just head scratching throws in that game. Like really inaccurate. Like what?
They got rid of the wrong guy. They gave in the offseason because they had Gary Bohannon, who won them the Big 12, and he did not win the offseason
QB battle.
competition, and now he's at South Florida, and they went with Shapen. And
Speaking of off-season QB battles, Luke Altmaier has just entered the transfer portal, Dave, at Ole Miss.
really,
So that is a very talented quarterback that's available for somebody.
Baylor will be looking to add a quarterback in the portal.
That might be a spot for him.
It should be, and the
Unless-
Tulsa kid. The Tulsa kid's leaving too. Not Tulsa. Yeah, Tulsa.
Tulsa. Is Dylan Gabriel? Does he have another year at Oklahoma?
I believe he has 1 year of eligibility left.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
I believe. He's pretty good.
DG, yeah, dude,
He's pretty good.
He was good at UCF, which plays in the American Championship next weekend with also former Ole Miss quarterback John Rice Plumlee.
Sick.
Speaking of Baylor, we kind of knew this was going to happen, but Matt Rhule to Nebraska. Is that the most Nebraska thing to bring in Matt Rhule? It kind of makes sense if you think about it.
I would think that he would be, and no offense to Nebraska, he'd be above that job. That he could get a
Ooh.
better job elsewhere.
There's a
Oh
lot of
my
stink on him after
gosh.
Carolina. I know it's the
Right,
NFL,
but
but I mean, that
he
just went really,
absolutely
really poorly.
Tore it up during his short tenure at Baylor. Where was he before Baylor?
Temple.
Temple.
Hoot, bitch.
He was really good in college.
Yeah, he is the definition of a program builder. He took two programs that were not in a good place, one that was like off of a awful scandal and lost like multiple recruiting classes, won one or two games his first year at Baylor, then won like 6 the next, bowl eligible, I believe, and then, went to the Big 12 championship game against OU.
I just think Nebraska is too hard of a place to win. I just think it's really hard to recruit guys to buy into that environment, that program. Again, no offense. All right.
You're right. It's sad to see
The Huskers,
the,
there's a proud fan base, and I respect them, but I don't know.
the old blue blood kind of like you think of Miami and Nebraska,
They BF'd in
Colorado.
in the
Colorado's
90s.
the worst team in the country.
Yeah.
And they used to win natties. Like that's why all the Auburn fans are like, oh fuck Ole Miss. They've never won anything. It's like, yeah, well, Colorado did. Now they're the worst team in the league. Sorry.
It's a hard place to convince a blue chip prospect to play football.
They were always good for like that one, keeping Ohio State or Michigan close every year. Like, oh, Nebraska's up in the 4th. Look out. But then
They've got a good fan base.
Great.
They
Not
support the
good,
team.
Great.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But I gotta, a lot of the Matt Rhule talk, it's like, oh well, he's recruited Texas. He'll be able to recruit Texas. And here's the thing, and if you followed Baylor, the Big 12 when he was there, he did recruit well in Texas because his first move at Baylor he brought on what's his name? Joey McGuire. He's now the
Tech.
coach at Tech.
Tech.
He was the coach of the 3 or 4 time state champion Cedar Hill Longhorns. Brought him in.
Interesting.
He hired a bunch of Texas high school football guys to get into that circle and to help him recruit. And it worked. It worked quite well. I don't know what his staff is going to look like in Nebraska, and I don't know if that's going to translate because, like Dylan said, that's a tough place to recruit to.
Yeah, and in the era of NIL, don't know what kind of cash Nebraska has to throw around. I assume it's better than a lot of programs, actually.
You don't think they have the bag?
I don't know.
You saying Nebraska doesn't have the chops?
I'm saying I don't know.
Are they on Fumble the Bag watch?
Are they on no duffel bag watch? Is what Dylan said.
Oh, man.
You gotta
Pretty
have a bag
embarrassing.
these days.
Pretty embarrassing if you're a Cornhusker and you don't have the bag.
Of course, Warren Buffett. He's a Nebraska guy, right?
He certainly is
I don't
an
care. I don't
Omaha guy. I don't know if he's.
I don't know if he cares enough about the.
Of course,
football
he's
program.
the CEO of Omaha Steaks.
Well, that's
Oh, okay.
debatable. He is Berkshire Hathaway's proprietor, though.
Oh, yeah. He's probably more known as that. You ever had an Omaha
similar
steak?
valuation? I think that weren't they a sponsor a while back?
I actually only eat my steaks from Japan, so
Really?
yeah. I don't know if you've had it.
What? Chateaubriand?
Yeah, if you've had it.
I haven't.
Well,
Luke Fickell to Wisconsin.
the Fick man.
Love that. He was number one if Lane did leave for Auburn, that I wanted Ole Miss to go after him. Everybody was like, "Oh, he ain't leaving. He's not leaving." Well, he left.
Is there going to be a game day sign that says "Suck our fix"?
I hope not, David.
That's not a good sign. You shouldn't do that.
No,
Yeah, but the running back again. Here we go.
Dave says, okay. Do you think is Wisconsin a program that can and should compete for the Big Ten championship every year, given their, I don't know,
Yes.
horrendous division versus the other side of it? I'm sorry, Randy. Purdue, I know they're getting the dub this year, but
Go ahead,
that,
Randy.
I mean, that division is.
Ole Miss is frauds.
I said
Okay.
they appear on the list.
Stop. Don't bring up Ole Miss.
Randy.
No more Ole Miss. I don't want to
Randy's
get.
perking up a bit. I like it.
I don't want Brett to freak out.
They should win that division every year. What's their biggest like Iowa, Minnesota?
Minnesota. I mean, those are good programs, but not.
PJ Fleck, by the way,
Mm.
row the boat guy. He had a couple really, really solid years with Tanner Morgan, the 27-year-old quarterback. Tough when they're certainly a down program right now.
Speaking of Big Ten, Cade McNamara, transfer
Yeah.
portal. Did we already say that? Did I just
No.
Dylan you?
Sorry, I
That's what people are calling it.
Yeah, and I understand.
did he? Correct me if I'm wrong. Led Michigan to a college football playoff appearance just 1 year ago. Right? He was the guy.
I believe that's right.
So, man, transfer portal shit. I can't keep up, Dylan.
Man, I don't know how great this is for college football.
There needs to be some sort of regulation or window
Here's the thing.
or like something.
If you are a freshman or sophomore, well, if you're not a senior, I'll put it that way, and if you have a really good season, why wouldn't you at least throw your name in the portal to see what kind of money is thrown your way?
No doubt.
Why would you can always go back to the school that you've been playing at?
100%.
Like, why wouldn't you be like, yeah, I was, yeah. What else is out there for me?
Xavier Worthy.
You just become you're a free agent basically.
Every year.
Well, if you do it more than once, you got to sit out a year.
Yeah.
But you can still
could
I mean,
do
you
it every
could,
year.
But like Xavier Worthy, I expect Xavier Worthy to be in the portal. I hate to say it, but I mean,
That's a stunning indictment of Quinn Ewers.
I don't think it's not. It's
I
just,
think it
it's just the
is.
way college football is now. So if he's going to be a 3-year guy in college, right?
Mhm.
He has 1 year left before he's draft eligible. If you have 1 year left to put a highlight reel together, put numbers together, and put an NFL resume together, why wouldn't you go out there and play for the best quarterback you can play for?
That's fair, and I wouldn't blame him for it. But I'm just saying, like, dude, like if you don't think you can get noticed at Texas,
He's already noticed. He's already like probably a second or third round guy. But I mean, he can go crazy with a quarterback like Caleb Williams, for example.
That's facts.
He's from California, so he will probably end up. If I had to guess, he's going to go to USC.
That's what the message boards are pointing
But
to.
Dude,
it's
Lincoln
not,
is just
it's not
BF
so
in
much,
the portal.
and that's not so much an indictment of Quinn Ewers. I mean, it is a little bit, but it's like it's just how college football works now, and it kind of sucks for a lot of.
Would you be happy? Would you be? What would make you more angry if he goes to USC to play with Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley, or if he goes to just like Michigan or some other school that's not like a huge upgrade at quarterback?
He actually initially signed at Michigan. I don't know if you
Is that?
did.
I thought it
he
was
did.
one of those Big Ten schools.
I mean, I would just assume like he got paid a lot of money to go to Michigan or to wherever.
Okay.
And it's like, all right. I mean, we can't fault a guy for that, for going, getting paid as much as he can, or for going, we're going into a better situation for his position or whatever.
What if he wants to go play for Venables in Norman?
That would sting obviously more than him going to a Michigan or a USC. But NIL it's changed everything. It really has, and some of it's not for the best, I think.
Xavier Worthy is a Fresno, California guy.
We'll love it if he stayed at Texas.
Me too. He's a unbelievable athlete.
If he was a year younger, I think he'd get a chance to play with Arch.
Oh, the Arch effect.
But he's going to miss Arch by a year. It looks like. I think Arch is going to redshirt.
Next year is going to be a really fun NFL tank watch for Caleb Williams because he's not eligible
Right.
this year.
He's got
year.
one
So
more
he's got
year,
another
yeah.
year, and that's going to be because I was thinking about that watching the Texans, who are just awful, and like,
They're
oh,
awful.
dude, are they tanking for Caleb? And I was like, wait, that dude does
Yeah,
not
can't.
come out this
Not
year.
yet.
Who is the number one quarterback this year? Is Bryce Young?
It's not Bryce Young.
It's not like. Is it the North Carolina kid Howell?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Maybe.
it's not Will Levis anymore. He kind of Kentucky kid. Like, what is the? Let's see.
I
what
don't know.
That's weird.
Good question.
You look that up, and I'm going to do something a little different
How old is
here.
How old is Stroud?
CJ. He is this year.
Okay, then it's him.
Okay.
He's an NFL guy.
You want to pay the bills, Dave, while I look up the quarterbacks for next
I
year?
can't stop thinking about Vizzy. I just can't.
Wow. Get
Over-
in line, bitch.
My dad, he does this. He'll call me before he knows we're coming home. He's like, hey, anything you want me to get from the store? I'm like, hey, Pops, listen here, old man. You better stock that garage fridge full of Vizzy, darn it. Or said it respectfully.
That's how you talk to him?
Respectfully.
Okay.
And you know what he did? Between gift giving and family traditions, the holidays are full of lighthearted moments that make the end of the year a little bit more joyful. Vizzy Hard Seltzer brings the joyful vibes all year round, Dylan. Did you do any mimosa? Any Vizzy mimosa over the break?
I believe I had a couple
Oh,
on I think Friday actually during the Texas Baylor game. I believe I did.
you can do the strawberry orange, or my favorite, the pineapple orange, peach orange, and pomegranate orange, all in the mimosa flavor. They're phenomenal. If you want to shake things up or just keep your options open, try the Vizzy Variety Pack and get flavor options for days. You got pack 1 that's strawberry kiwi, blueberry palmy, black cherry lime, and pineapple mango. V pack 2, variety pack 2, watermelon, strawberry, raspberry, tangerine, papaya, passion fruit. That rolls off the tongue real well. And blackberry lemon. Vizzy Hard Seltzer, flavors for every vibe. Stock up on Vizzy Hard Seltzer and show some love for the show. Here's how to get yours. Go to VizzyHardSeltzer.com/washed to find Vizzy near you. That's VizzyHardSeltzer.com/washed. And hear first about the latest flavor drops and more. Sign up at VizzyHardSeltzer.com/subscribe. Must be 21 or older. Celebrate responsibly. Molson Coors Beverage Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's a perfect game I just pitched.
That was good. I got to issue a retraction. Sam Howell was last year. That's how.
You big dumb
Yeah,
idiot.
that's how tough this class is. It's Stroud is 1.
Wasn't Sam Howell?
Bryce Young 2.
Who was the Duke kid from a couple years
The
ago?
Duke.
Daniel Jones? DJ?
Is that who I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
Will Levis is still 3. I mean, this is they have Tanner McKee. Any idea where he plays, Dave?
No.
Stanford
Mm.
at 4. Anthony Richardson 5. Jaden Daniels 6. KJ Jefferson 7, who I've heard might come back. Jaron Hall 8. because Arkansas's backup, that awesome fucking athlete from, I believe, Florida, transferring. So Tyler Van Dyke 9 and Malik Cunningham at Louisville 10. So they like Duggan at 12, Hooker at 13. We'll see. We'll see. This class just doesn't scream a whole lot of.
Going to be a lot of Duggan's just a winner talk. You did say Duggan, right?
I did. Match Duggan.
Okay.
We'll see. No Stetson Bennett in there, huh?
The disrespect.
Not a fan, Dylan?
No, the guy has a natty under his belt and might win another one. The guy's obviously a great college quarterback. Not a pro prospect though. He'll get a chance somewhere.
Oh, he absolutely will. Yeah.
No, doesn't have a big arm.
If you put him right now on the Denver Broncos, does he throw more or less touchdown passes than Russell Wilson?
Like right now, he wouldn't even know the playbook. So like,
you got to give him some time.
We know
it's
a
not
guy
going
we know
well
a guy that could
for
get
your
him the
guy.
ball.
you got to have a cannon in the NFL. You just do. Those windows, they close quickly. Dude.
What if you don't have the respect of your defensive teammates? Because I don't know if you saw Mike Purcell.
Loved it. I hate to say
Things
that.
have hit rock bottom in Denver. It's not great. Lose 23-10 to the Panthers. It's not a good Panthers team. Sam Darnold beat you.
Yeah. Did you see Darnold rolling across the goal line?
I did.
Yeah. Funny stuff in the NFL these days.
Russell Wilson, even before this clip came out, it was so obvious that no one likes him, teammates included.
You've been very clear on this.
His former teammates being outspokenly against him or just like dunking on him basically is all you need to know. But the guy is just as corny as it gets. A total phony. And I liked what I saw. I don't want to see anybody get embarrassed like that, but I liked what I saw.
He has now gone full circle for me where I'm actually rooting for him because like I'm just like, dude, this has gotten so bad and you're getting smoked from every direction. It's like, I'd like to see you have some success just for the content.
You're pity rooting.
Yeah, that's exactly what I am.
That's
He's
tough.
on pity watch.
Ugh.
You shouldn't pity a guy who's married to Sierra though.
Yes, yeah. He wins every time he goes home.
Oh yeah.
But like
I'm just saying.
the Let's Ride thing, like obviously when it started out, like he was trying to, do his little pump up video for the big screen or whatever. And then only when it came out did he become aware that it was pretty cringe. So he kind of leaned into it and he made fun of himself. And it's like, but now he's like still doing it. And it's come full circle. It's like, all right, you don't have like the charisma, the personality to like be self-deprecating with this. Like it's just not working for him. It's making it worse in my opinion.
All right, how about this?
Especially-
let's look at the other side of the
Especially
coin.
when your team is ass. If he had, just 2 losses on the year, it'd be a different story. But they suck. He stinks.
Other side of the coin. Brian Robinson, Commanders running back.
The anti-Russell Wilson.
Oh, there he is.
Also a big hat guy. Did you see his big hat?
Love it.
Yeah.
Where do I acquire such an item?
His friend. He said his friend has a big hat company. If you want a big hat, let him know.
So I just reach out to him directly? I mean,
Right. DM him right now.
All right.
Be like, hey man, interested in the big hat. Where might I find it? That's a good bit.
If you buy a blue check on Twitter, do you get the same messaging, verified properties?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we didn't have to buy ours, Dave. That's right.
That's right. Somebody on Twitter the other day accused me that I had a tweet that was doing well and it said, I don't take this tweet seriously because you paid for a blue check mark.
Oh,
I was so mad. I was like,
just go to
Sir.
your profile and look
Wow.
and see that you did.
I did not. Famously verified before Dylan.
That's true.
I have a problem with big hat Twitter.
Okay.
I think it's mostly just it's sort of fatigue on, when something nice happens on the internet and everybody piles on or piles in this case. I'm like, come on, guys, it's a hat.
Brian Robinson's DMs are not open on Twitter. I am going to check Instagram now. And I will send him a fucking message if I can.
While you do that, breaking news again for the second time on this podcast. Hugh
Is
Freeze,
that portal related?
Hugh Freeze officially the head coach at Auburn football. That
Okay.
surely won't end in absolute disaster.
Okay. Dylan, what if you get a big hat from Brian Robinson and you put it on and it just fits normal because you have a big fucking head?
That's so rude.
You do have I have a small head. I can make that
I have
joke.
officially messaged him on Instagram. I was successful.
Read us the message.
Hey, fam, I want a big hat. Where can I cop?
What the fuck?
What? What's
It's just the most Gen Z. Hey,
Okay.
fam.
He's probably Gen Z. How old is this?
You're
fella?
right. He probably is, but it's just.
I'm trying to speak Gen Z.
Is this a little stolen valor on Spike Lee? Was he was doing big hats before people were doing big
Remember
hats.
Wes Welker did big helmet?
He did huge helmet. Yeah, that was
Concussion related, a little different.
You know,
I was concerned about Wes.
the late, the great Norm Macdonald once wore a big cowboy hat. So,
Yeah.
So did
for
Randy.
Reynolds.
John Olerud wore a helmet to play in the field.
Yeah, that always
Brain-
bugged me.
Brain damage related.
Good hitter.
Sure. Had a fine career.
He really slapped it around.
Were you doing are you pivoting to a World Cup?
No, I really don't have much on that. USA needs to beat Iran tomorrow.
We control our own destiny.
Did you
That's all
see
you can
we-
ask for.
Did you see we threw up the flag without the Islamic Republic logo, the Iranian flag, and they're mad? And,
I did not.
like, what are we doing?
I believe
We're giving them bulletin board material.
separation of church and state is my.
Yeah,
mantra, so
that's been your thing.
I'm a
Oh, I'm a big
constitutionalist.
separation.
That's kind of
church
your,
and state guy.
That Dylan really.
That's
is.
that's kind of like your, free speeches to Elon as separation of church and state is to you.
You betcha.
I want a big hat so bad.
Let's figure. They got the demand's probably pretty high right this second.
Should we make these in big hat form?
I think they'll probably cost a
You
little
think
bit to
Imperial
make.
does those?
I don't think so.
Send an email to the Imperial
Can y'all do
plug. Be like, hey man, can you guys do a larger hat? They're like, oh, you want like a high crown, like a no.
And they'll send them the Brian Robinson picture. What does the inside of that hat look like? Is it just like
That's
foam stuffed and they're like a little cutout for a head?
I would imagine so. Yeah, well, I was wondering the logistics as well, Dylan.
It's
do you
almost
wear
what
that?
that hat looks like on me. Because I do have a notoriously small head.
I think the hat looks good on you.
I think. Thank you. It's very nice of you. Where do you want to go from here? Did you see the Commanders did a Sean Taylor tribute? Unveiled their tribute to Sean, the late, the great. I've said
Mhm.
that a lot today. Randy, if you don't mind, I don't know
Yeah,
if you guys saw
That's
this.
still Brian Robinson.
Big day for the Commanders. So this is getting widely dunked on because it's the Commanders, and they're like, dude, what the fuck?
It looks like they're like debuting a new jersey,
It does.
That's exactly what it looks like.
and it's not. It's
It
just
kind of
Sean
looks like it would
Taylor's
be
jersey.
like in a nice Foot Locker.
It looks like a Hall of Fame, like where every team has their jersey on a mannequin, just so you see what the logos are.
Well,
Why don't they put a statue in front of the stadium and call it
Hey,
like
not
much better?
Not pictured Sean Taylor.
Also,
It's
famously
just a,
not
it's just
there.
a uniform.
it is his uniform.
What a
Are we?
What is
His
Travesty.
family,
This
his
is
family's
travesty.
fine with it. So I mean, like
They
the
are?
thought is like, well, if his family's fine with it, then everybody else should be. But it's kind of
that dude was so much fun to watch.
I couldn't believe how
That
long
dude
it's
was
been
sick.
since he's passed. I was like, holy shit.
How long had it been? 20-ish?
Yeah.
20?
I feel like I was in high school, right out of high school, 2004, 2003.
2007 was when he died.
Damn.
Yeah.
He brought the wood.
15 years was the surprising stat.
Dylan correctly notes that he brought the wood.
He did.
Not many safeties
was a-
doing that these days.
He was a
Like,
thumper and a
The game's
turnover
changed.
machine.
who's the hardest hitting safety in the NFL right now?
You can't do it anymore.
There's not like dudes, like dogs.
That dude on the Eagles last night, that white dude, Blankenship. Where did that guy come from? I watched the
Good
first half
question.
and I would watch White Lotus and went to bed.
Yeah,
Jordan Love looked
Aaron
good.
Rodgers looked weird. He was obviously
He got
hurt.
he's dealing with a thumb and ribs now. You may not see him for the rest of the year. That's not confirmed, but if you're the Packers, you're out of it. You
He's
ride Jordan
gonna-
Love. Jordan Love looked good.
Rodgers there might be a story where like he's in ayahuasca country tomorrow. Like he's all set.
Where's ayahuasca country?
Costa Rica.
I believe it's Ecuador, right?
There's a number
Isn't
of
it more
places.
South American than Central America?
He-
You
he's
could
in
tell.
with-
Somebody's yelling at there. I'm sorry. I don't know that for sure.
He's in with the right people that he can get it. He doesn't have to travel. He could come to Austin and I don't know, maybe find a shaman or a CEO
Yeah,
of
there's
a
one
supplement
one in
company.
Southeast Austin, famously.
Really? At
Yeah.
the airport?
No.
Mhm.
What else happened, Dave?
Did you see the little dust up on the plane with Odell?
What happened?
Is it bad that based on all of the plane stuff we've seen in the last, I don't know, 3 years, that I am immediately Odell's guilty much more than his statement reads, right?
You don't give him the benefit of the doubt.
Not at all. Not at all.
What happened for those who don't know?
Do you want me to read the note? Okay, is it a good sign when your attorney hits Twitter with the Notes app
Probably not.
or releases a statement through Ian Rappaport from the Notes app? Earlier today, Odell Beckham Jr. boarded a morning flight in Miami without any problems. The flight was delayed after boarding and prior to takeoff. Mr. Beckham fell asleep with his blanket over his head, which is his normal practice for long flights. Do you ever do that?
Over the head?
Yeah.
It gets too hot.
That's
It's
what I
hard to
said.
breathe.
He was awakened, typo there, and told that the plane was back at the gate and that he needed to get off the plane because he did not put his seatbelt on. When asked, he responded that he was asleep and that he would put his seatbelt on at that time. He was informed that it was too late and that either he would have to get off the plane or everyone would have to deplane. The overzealous flight attendant insisted on removing everyone from the plane instead of simply allowing Mr. Beckham to fasten his seatbelt and proceed with the flight. At no time was Mr. Beckham disruptive or combative. That's pretty much it. There was no like arrest or anything, but apparently he went to sleep and they're like, "Oh, you got to put your seatbelt on." And
Which just put your seatbelt on.
That's
not
what I
talk
would have
back to
done.
the flight attendants who have a hard enough job as it is and cause, I don't know, a gigantic headache for everybody involved. Just put your seatbelt on. How about that?
future Cowboy Odell Beckham Jr., by the way.
Where was he going? LA?
That's a good question. I don't know where that flight was going. That is a long flight, though.
Which just put your seatbelt on?
Yeah.
That's my.
Yeah, just put your seatbelt
Yeah,
on.
you should, for sure.
I feel like, is that some like hyper. Like, am I in the wrong by saying that? I don't.
No,
I feel like I would get dunked down on Twitter for being like, "Oh, you're victim shaming." It's like,
he
just put your
wasn't really.
seatbelt on.
Well, the people who were on the plane, there's some video of him like getting escorted off the plane. They were not happy. They're like, "Oh, dude was unruly." They said he was unruly.
Yeah, I'm unhappy too if that's me. I don't care if it's Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, this just fits perfect into the Cowboys narrative. Got to get him now. Now there's a little controversy out there. Go sign the man.
There it is.
There it is.
Do you need to? I thought the boys looked all right on Thursday.
They could use another piece out
They
there.
could use a little depth at the position, a little insurance.
He strikes me as the guy that would not get the ball 8 times in his first game and then just quit.
No, he was fine in he was great in L.A. I mean, he wasn't the guy out there.
No.
Obviously Cooper Kupp, but
No.
he came through in the Super Bowl and then blew his knee. What else? Anything else in the NFL? We didn't actually even talk about any of the games.
Bills needed that one. I'll give you that much.
That was fun.
Bills needed that one big time.
Were you side texting
They
Will?
still aren't looking like world beaters by any means, but they're winning games. So
What's the thought on Josh Allen's health level?
I think he's always dinged up because he's a moron when it comes to sliding and
Yeah,
whatnot.
that's not a good longevity play.
no. And he runs all the time. And they call runs for him now. Ken Dorsey, by the way, popping up on college lists. I hope he doesn't leave.
Okay.
Bills
Interesting.
OC.
Yeah. Interesting. Boys took care of business. You probably saw it. It was really nice to not have Thanksgiving ruined by a Cowboys just
It's always fun.
Thanksgiving turd.
Which has been the soup du jour of the last couple of years, right?
It seems like it.
Yeah.
It seems like more often than not they disappoint.
David Njoku, very nice catch. Cleveland Browns to send that one to OT and then subsequently win.
Shout out Jacoby Brissett. His last game as a starter, conceivably. Got Deshaun coming back in Houston, by the way. Interesting. Will be interesting to see. First of all, no one's going to be at that game because the Texans are really bad. But
Yeah.
what
really
the reception will be a little awkward. You think it was planned that way by the schedule makers? Because the
think-
schedule was released after his suspension.
Doesn't an algorithm do the schedule at this point?
I don't know.
Allegedly.
I don't know who Algorithm is.
Like first name Al, last name Garithim.
Sounds like a Purdue grad. Because they're nerds.
You guys are fucking dorks.
Hey, who's
Randy.
the Texas State coach going to be?
Yeah, Jake Spavital fired after 4 years. Not good.
The
Even-
Spav man, they call him.
Biggest win was against App State this season.
Fuck.
Yeah, they suck, man. I'm not going to talk about T-State too much because nobody cares, but
Their
they should-
absolute refusal
if you
to
see-
sign any high school prospects is not great.
just waving the white flag on the recruiting trail. If you look at what UTSA, which is 45 minutes to the south, and I don't know,
And
it might be a
also-
smaller school. I
And
don't
also
know.
like an 8-year-old program, I guess brand new as a football program.
You know, that's playing Texas and giving Texas a game. Not that, you know, they can
good.
compete. They can
It's a
compete.
good
They are a
program.
good team. The fact that Texas State hasn't put together like 7-win team, 8-win team at any point, it's bad. My vote is for Barrick Neely. That name won't be familiar to anyone who did not go to Texas State or Southwest Texas. In the last 20 years, he was the quarterback when they were D1 AA, took him to the semifinals.
He was cold.
In the playoffs. He was awesome. Like Vince Young Jr. Like he trained with Vince Young and he was a similar build. But he is at UTEP, another program that's doing better than Texas State. And he's like a recruiting coordinator there. I don't know what they're going to do.
I feel like they need a coach who's gone through some shit. Like Last Chance U, T-State. Like actually,
Art
like a
Briles?
Hugh Freeze type. Maybe a Briles. How about
Let's get Art on
how
the
about
line.
Les Miles at T-State?
Lester.
I don't know which name is more problematic.
Is anybody? I mean, none of. I think that's your move, Dave.
I think
And Dylan.
if you're going to do that, maybe give me Cliff Kingsbury. Not that he's done anything needs redeeming other than just not succeeding at coaching.
Yeah, I feel like he's got. If he gets fired in Arizona, he's probably going to go to like a Blue Bud, at least a Power 5 program. No
God.
offense, but
Can you imagine him in San Marcos? Cliff Kingsbury?
Oh, buddy.
Clean up.
more than he did at Tech. You think?
Oh, yeah.
About the-
Arizona
about the
State's
same.
Arizona
Yeah,
State's
you're right.
open. I mean, short move for him.
Short move. Maybe we'll have Will on to talk Messi potentially going to Miami. He's not. Some people are denying that now, but we were talking earlier. This is footy talk.
Yeah,
Messi,
yeah.
that would be cool. I would go to a game. I don't even really know what I'm looking at, but I would go to an Austin FC game. I would pay top dollar to sit close to watch a guy that many people say is like the best.
The goat.
Will
The
wouldn't
goat.
say that, but some.
Who's
some
Will's
people-
go?
Ronaldo.
Are we sure?
Oh yeah.
I thought he was out on Ronaldo.
I thought he doesn't like Ronaldo.
Well,
Ronaldo kind of said to fuck off.
he's being a little B right now for
Will?
United.
Oh, Ronaldo.
No, yeah, Ronaldo.
Okay.
You watched the USA England game, Dylan?
I did not because I watched the Texas game instead.
The
Similar
boys
timing.
look good.
Similar timing.
Yeah,
Win or go home tomorrow. None of this tie bullshit. Okay?
yeah, I'm sick of that shit.
I'm tired of it, personally.
We
Ga-
got.
a game that ends 0-0.
Doesn't do much for the
That didn't
future
do
of
much
soccer.
for me.
Am I right that we've scored one goal this tournament, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Only giving up one, though.
2 games, 1 goal.
That's true. Goal differentials. It could matter, Dave. Could matter.
You guys want to get into anything else before we run it back?
Want to commend the Atlanta Braves. Was in their facility the last couple days. They have a very good mixed-use property. A lot of fun bars, a lot of fun restaurants. They do it right over there in Cumberland, Georgia. Dylan.
Waterland, Georgia.
Wait, you were. Answer his question.
What?
Waterland.
Cumberland, Georgia.
Okay.
What were you doing you were like in their facilities?
No, I was. They're
You trying to make the team? What are you doing?
no
equipment
no,
manager?
They're not doing tryouts or anything. Although I did think of just trying to be a knuckleballer as a bit for like a summer.
That'd be really funny.
Jose
I-
Abreu to the Houston Astros. How do you feel about that?
Whatever.
He hits.
probably losing
he hits
Verlander.
bombs in the
He does.
home run derby.
He does.
Son of Bobby.
That's your 2020 AL MVP.
He's not the son of
I
Bobby.
knew that off the
just-
dome.
I
Didn't see
just
that on Twitter.
guessed that.
Okay. Let's run it back.
What
Thanks,
else we
Brett.
got?
Well, we can run it back, which of course is a segment during which we talk about what we already talked about. Okay. Happy Portal season to all who celebrate.
Tough to keep track of. If there's any websites that do a really good job, I think 24/7 does. Let me know.
Cyber Me Daddy, which of course is because it's Cyber Monday.
Mhm.
Chat roulette was more like meat roulette.
A lot of
dicks.
cock.
A lot of dicks.
The Too Much Dip Twitter account weirdly turns into a Texas Tech highlight reel on Saturdays. Might have to look into that. OU has surpassed Stinkwatch and is now confirmed just flat out stinks.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Brett had some thoughts on the Lane Kiffin extension.
One or two.
It always comes back to Jaquindon Jackson.
That's fast.
He's going to get his time in the sun, Dave. I promise you that.
Shout out to
Next year.
Down Bad Eddie, our friend at Soonerscoop.com.
Radosevich.
Down bad Eddie.
or that.
That's what you named him today. LSU and Oregon both laid big old stinking turds.
Oh my God.
Dave had Beeve Nation on Sneaky Fun Watch.
And his TV guide.
Dave wants to know if Wisconsin fans will bring a Suck Our Fix sign to game day. And finally, Dylan DM'd Brian Robinson of the Washington Commanders inquiring about a big hat. He has not responded to the DM so far.
Would you put that on the company card?
A big hat?
Yeah.
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 I think we could spring for a big hat.
We should do it in like, it could be like our, like our turnover chain or our,
Dude, what if
MVP hat at the end of each pod. Like you get to wear the big hat for
what
the
if these
final
hats
seg.
catch on and you just see people on the streets with these big ass hats walking around? Like, how funny is
Remember
that?
Pharrell rocked the
Yeah.
oversized hat?
Yeah,
It was
I
like the
do.
Arby's hat.
I do.
Yeah, didn't really catch on.
These big
Or did it?
caps though, man. Like new era hats. Like that's the next wave.
Big cap.
Yeah. Anyway, that concludes Run It Back.
Brett.
Fun episode.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Dave and Dylan and KJ. Please find more sports takes about hockey, which we did not touch on once this episode, but that's okay. At Cold Stove Pod, at Cold Stove Pod on Twitter and Instagram, Cold Stove Podcast on wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you want to talk about the Benaissance? The Jamie Benaissance?
The Jamie Benaissance.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy for him.
Yeah.
Happy for him. Happy for the Stars. A good couple comebacks over the holiday break, Dave.
Yeah.
Fun team.
It's fun.
Yeah,
it's
get
fun
up
being
to
able to
a-
watch them.
Get up to a game. Yeah.
Also, shout out to Duncanville boys basketball with Ron Holland, UT commit. That's a name. That's a name that you're going to want
That's
to
a
know.
dude.
Dude is a baller. And also the Duncanville football team.
Panthers?
Just absolutely BF the Woodlands.
Another 5-star. Just Duncanville is just 5-star central.
It's
wonder.
crazy, man.
Was there something about the Duncanville football team that they did something wrong and might have had some
You're thinking basketball.
Basketball team.
team?
Yeah, they're not going to the playoffs this year.
So Duncanville football state championship?
Maybe.
There's some dogs on that team.
Maybe they're
Do they
a
play?
couple games away.
Oh, okay.
But they may run
I'm
into
thinking-
their the team that they cannot beat, at least in football, North Shore.
Dave will not be
Out of
going to the
Houston.
game as he is bad luck.
They've lost every playoff game I've shown up at. So,
Really?
Yeah. And honestly, I don't believe in that kind of stuff. But I just after the last one, I don't want to be a part of that again. It was so sad.
Where did
So-
the Fighting Flounders of Midlow end up this year?
Man, they lost a close one to not Alito. They did lose a close one. I will say that over the weekend.
Mm.
Not great, but yeah,
Shouts to
they had a good
Flounder.
season.
Bring that team along all year.
Shout out Flounder. All right, we'll see you next week. No, we'll see you Thursday evening, 6:30 Central for the live stream. KJ will be back with a special
I
guest.
want my
Bye-bye.
chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.